I'm going to take us through the enhancements we made to our Rail EDI web service. So in order to support the rail operations, we've added the 404, the 824, which is for the application advice, which basically means if the rail accepts or declines that tender, as well as the 322 for status messages and the 410 for invoicing. And then last but not least, the 998 for cancellations. Okay, let's take a look. Alrighty, so on the mode table, we've added a checkbox that is called Rail. When this checkbox is true, it's going to change the transactions on the EDI transactions table to reflect the EDI transactions, so the 404s and the 322s, for example. So I have a freight plan built already, and in this freight plan, this is the recommended path for tendering via for rail. So I've got my customer load here for Chicago Pizza. It is picking up in Los Angeles. It is, the customer load is from Los Angeles to Chicago Pizza. So I've already inserted the rail move. So this is from Union Pacific in City of Industry, and then the destination rail is the Union Pacific in North Lake. So as you can see, it's broken up by 3 separate carrier moves. The first one, the brown guy down here, is going to be your origin dray. The blue one is your rail move, and then the green load is your destination rail. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the rail move. And once this pops up, go into the FQA. I already have my carrier service assigned to the carrier quote with that mode of rail. So I'm going to go ahead and select tender. And since that rail checkbox on the carrier service and on the mode is set to true, when I look at the EDI transaction table, you'll see that the 404 was sent, and it's got the original status as well. And then I'm going to walk us through an example of removing a carrier. So standard how we would normally remove a carrier is just clicking on this and then hitting the remove carrier. Since again this carrier service is for an EDI rail carrier, when I click on this EDI tab and scroll down, you'll see that the 998 was sent with a cancellation purpose. So again, that's going to tell the rail that you did tender it, but you actually want to cancel it. So I'm going to click on this load that I've already pre-built here. This one was tendered again to Union Pacific, and then I've sent from an EDI van a simulation of an 824 that was declined by the EDI van. So if I click on this, if I scroll down, you'll see the 824. It was an inbound 824. Similar to our non-rail EDI transactions, if you click on the actual transaction record, you'll see the full payload here. And as you can see, there's some additional fields that we've added. So one that I'll call out is this tender exception comments, and that's a free text field. And then the tender decline comments, again, a free text field. And then this tender decline reason code. So that is actually, it was an existing field that we leveraged for the EDI transactions, and we've enhanced that field to a multi-select pick list instead of a single select. So the reason I call out that specific field is if you're using that on any of your dashboards or any of your reports, you're going to want to make sure that you update it to the tender declined reasons instead of the single select pick list. So clicking on the carrier quote, you'll see that the tender status is now rejected. The tender decline reasons have that multi-select pick list, so there's 2 values here. And then the rail is also able to include tender decline status comments. So in this example, they basically just told us to fix the errors and to attempt a retender. And last but not least, I'm going to click on this other load that was pre-built. And as you can see, when I click on the EDI, there's a couple different transactions here. So the 410 is going to be the invoice, and then the 322, similarly to the 214, is the status invoices or status messages with the different event codes.